Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about some breakout opportunities for the year ahead. It's one of the most exciting times of the year when we get to speculate on some of these guys that we know are going to come good. It's just a matter of when. And is it going to be this year? Maybe for some of these guys. So I've got one from each team here. As we'll go down the list, I'll let you know why I think some of these guys might be popping off in the year ahead. First up is Josh Richelli. Has been a big touted forward and slash midfield option now for the Adelaide Crows. Bit of change up in the midfield, I think, with Rory Laird taking a back seat in defence. And yeah, a few others rotating out, especially maybe with Rankin not being there in the first couple of rounds. We might be seeing Josh Richelli in the midfield a lot more. Apparently he's been training there all off-season, ever since November or December. And yeah, a lot of people have been saying, and take it with a grain of salt, but he's going to have a Petrarca-like breakout season this year. Maximum, I'm thinking he could get close to a 90 average, but I've got him, I don't know, I'm still thinking it might be, we'll see how he goes, but if he gets the CBAs, maybe closer to a mid-80 average to be conservative, but a lot of people thinking, yeah, he might be the number 2 banana there. He's still got Josh Saligo and, Sam Berry, a few others in there. Dan Curtin's out for a bit. So, yeah, there is the opportunity for Josh Richelli. So, 22 years old, forward option. Is he going to be F1 standard? Maybe not, but he's going to have a big year, I think. And he's going to get right up into the 80s again, or for the first time, I think. So, big one in for Josh Richelli in 2026. Next one there, Brisbane has Levi Ashcroft. Baby Ashcroft is just as good as Will, I think, and it's just going to be a surge up the ranks at Brisbane eventually. The Ashcroft brothers are going to take control of that Brisbane midfield. Obviously, Dunkley, McCluggage are in there dominating, and Neil, we'll see how he goes. I think he's been training the house down, as people always say, but yeah, don't count out Levi Ashcroft. I don't think he doesn't have the forward status this year, but he has the pedigree. He was getting 40-plus disposals at VFL level when he was like a 17-year-old. This guy's got the numbers to back it, and see how he goes. Maybe, I'm thinking maximum here. These are maximum at projected averages, but Levi could get into the mid to high 80s, I'd say, by the end of the year, especially if one of those old Lions maybe takes a back seat or gets injured. We'll see how his role goes throughout the year, but I expect him to get in the guts a bit more. Carlton has, in my opinion, some of the best defenders upcoming. And one of them, I think, is going to be Lockie Cowan. I think he's going to be a direct replacement in due time, taking the kick-ins. You still got Nick Newman there, but last year and last few years, we've seen Lockie Cowan taking a bit more responsibility. And he's getting into the older, bit maturer now. He's 21, turning 22 this year. And yeah, I just think especially with the maybe opportunity, if Nick Newman is not the main man down the back, if there's something happens to him, I think Lockie Cowan will be surging up the ranks very, very shortly. I don't think it's out of the question to say he could average 80 by the end of the year, especially again if the opportunities arise for him. So look out for Lockie Cowan. Ned Long, big one. Big breakout for him, I think. I don't think it's far off saying he could be the number 2 banana, maybe number 3 if you count Josh Dacos getting in the middle a bit. But I think Ned Long in the short term and maybe even long term is going to be that second midfielder with Nick Dacos at the CBAs most weeks. He tackles so much. He's a fantastic tackler. Just needs to get his disposals up a bit, I think. And yeah, he got a bit more opportunity last year. There won't be any substitutes this year. So he's one that will definitely benefit from that. And hopefully he doesn't get subbed off or injured. But yeah, if he has on the park all year, I don't think it's out of the question to say he'll get into the mid-80s and closer to 90 as well. Angus Clark of Essendon he had a fantastic last 3 or 5 games last year. I think he was averaging close to 90 in the last couple of games. Probably due to a bit happening at the Bombers, I guess. They were injury ravaged. There's a bit of opportunity. But, Nick Martin is still out for the whole year now. And yeah, there's a big shift, I think, happening. Don't know what's happening with Jordan Ridley. See how he holds up. He might come good. But Angus Clark, just another rookie at the end there, I think is going to get the opportunity, and he's got the bullishness to him. I think Essendon fans love him, and he's a bit of a cult hero already. He's like the guy that's pushing people around already when stuff goes down on the field. He's always there for his teammates, and I think he's just going to get more opportunity this year, to be honest, in a very interesting year for the Bombers ahead. Neil Erasmus at Fremantle, talked about him once or twice this off-season. He, I think, is going to be a huge benefactor from the no substitute rule anymore. And just by getting the time on ground and getting the opportunity now at 22 years old, so definitely still breakout territory for him. He's still very, very young. People are like, he hasn't done anything yet. Well, I don't know. I just feel like the Fife era is over. I don't know how Hayden Young's going to hold up. I reckon he's going to get a lot more opportunity this year. And if he does, and if he stays on the park, I don't think he will be far off an 80 average by the end. And could be more. He's had huge numbers at waffle level and his under 18 level. He just needs that opportunity. So he can get those big scores if given that opportunity. Tanner Bruin is coming back. He was out all of last year with off-field issues that got thrown out of court, and he's free to play. Like, it was all, I don't know, I think it was made up. I don't know what happened there, but he's back. That's the short story of it. And he's going to be in the midfield, I'm imagining, this year, getting CBAs like he used to. He was young 2 years ago when he was playing, but he's still young. He's still only 23. And bigger body, preseason behind him, hasn't been seen, or Geelong's pretty quiet about these things when they're preseason and their training schedules, so a bit hard to see. But I know they don't like to play the young kids, and I don't know, maybe with Warple there, you could argue Bruns maybe the third or fourth in the midfield now, but I don't know. I think he is that ripe age. He's definitely going to get the opportunity, I think, more this year with the old Geelong midfield pretty much done with now with Dangerfield. I'd like to think Atkins. I think Brun should get the bump over Atkins, at least by the midway point of the year. I'd like to see Brun getting in the middle a lot more. And I think he's got the pedigree to have a decent output by the end of the year. I think he could get up to 82, hopefully, by the end, if he gets the opportunity. Leo Lombard at the Suns, academy product, has the forward status. Just his second year in the league, I think. And just had a couple of games last year to really show us what he has, and was a bit injured. So I think with a good preseason, with that forward status, the end of your drafts, especially in the ravenous desert that is the forward options this year, I think he's a gem. I reckon he could definitely be at least a replacement during the bye weeks or something. And see how he goes in the practice matches, but highly touted academy product. Probably doesn't get in the midfield a whole lot, but I reckon he'll be a good half forward and probably keep the forward status for the next couple of years. So more games for him this year. Why not pick him at the end of your drafts? Harry Ralston at GWS with the new news with Tom Green going down and Josh Kelly not being there. Finn Callahan's had a bit of an issue now. There's a lot of opportunity at the Giants, and it's going to be kind of similar to Melbourne, who we'll talk about in a second, how it's going to look really, really different come round 1 or round 0. And I think Harry Ralston will get amongst it. He was out for a while with that ACL, and he came back at the end of last year for 10 games. Played really well for a guy that really hadn't played at all, obviously. And I think with a good preseason now, 21 years old, so much opportunity now with Tom Green down. So I think at least by the halfway point of this year, Harry Ralston will be like the third main CBA midfielder there at the GWS Giants. I don't think he would be far off an 80 average, at least by the end. Just this opportunity, take it with both hands, son. I reckon he's got it in him. Josh Ward, talked about him once or twice as well. He's my boy. He had the same kind of numbers as Nick Dacos in his under 18 years. And I just think he's now got the opportunity. James Warple's gone. Will Day's out for the first chunk of the year. He really is the second midfielder in there now. I think he's going to have a great breakout year finally. And 22 years old, he's got that pedigree in him, as I said, very Nick Dacos-like numbers in his draft year. So I don't think a 90 is out of the question for Josh Ward. I think he's going to get so busy and get all the opportunity he likes, especially in the first chunk. And if he takes it with both hands, he will be the mainstay there. I think he'll get the nod over Will Day by the end of the year, especially if Will Day keeps breaking down. Harvey Langford. Obviously, another one who is so young still, 19 years old, but so much opportunity on the cards. It's really just him and Jack Steele as, in my opinion, the main on-ball midfielders at the Demons now. There's arguments to be made for like Trent Rivers or Caleb Windsor or Xavier Lindsay maybe. But I think it's Harvey Langford getting bulk CBAs next to Jack Steele, even at 19 years old. And yeah, Jack Viney's out with that Achilles injury. So yeah, all the opportunity in the world for him. And yeah, had the pedigree in his draft year as well, was averaging like 110, just gets the numbers. So we'll see how he goes. And I reckon he could be into the 80s by the end of the year, in his second year. I reckon he's got it in him. Kobe McKercher is another high draft pick from a couple of years ago. Has that defender status, which is awesome. Gets the halfback role at the North Melbourne Kangaroos. And yeah, another absolute accumulator. Just runs so fast and gets so much of the pill. And yeah, third year for him coming up. And I don't think it's too far off to say he will be averaging closer to in the 90s, I'd say, by the end of this year. I think he's going to be the main distributor down back. And yeah, plenty of midfielders, so the distributor role suits him fine. He's got a great left boot. And yeah, so zippy with the run and carry. You want him taking kick-ins and running it in, or yeah, just getting amongst it from congestion and bursting away. He is phenomenal. He is a freak. So 91 or 90 plus average for him, I reckon, is my hot take. Well, maybe not too hot, but he's got it in him to go 90 plus, I reckon. Dante Vicentini from Port Adelaide is one that I reckon they've been saying he's going to be number one ruck come round one. He's going to be battling it out with Jordan Sweet, and he's 23 years old, which is not too young. So I reckon, yeah, he's got the body for it now. He might be a bit bigger, a little bit more experienced. I think he was smashing it in the Sandful last year and got a few games as well. So a ruck breakout potentially on the cards there at Port Adelaide. One of my main favourites here, of course, is Kane McAuliffe from Richmond. I think he's just a stud. I reckon he should be getting more opportunity at Richmond. A lot of people are talking about Lawler, obviously number one draft pick. People still talk about Hopper. Obviously Taranto's in there. Prestia's gone down with that hamstring injury. Sam Cumming is that other one that got drafted. Josh Smiley as well. You know, there's all these other higher draft picks, I guess, that have come in after Kane McAuliffe. But I reckon McAuliffe is, or should be, the third, at least the third main man in the midfield at Richmond behind Hopper and Taranto. I think he is ready. He's just about to turn 21. He just needs to stay on the park. That is the only issue, I think. His just body hasn't held up just yet. And that's annoying, obviously. So a little bit of risk with him. But if given the opportunity, I reckon he's going to get closer to an 80 average by the end of the year, if given the opportunity. Fingers crossed. Mateus Philippou from the Saints, another high draft pick from a few years ago. I think he was out for a lot of last year and yeah, wasn't able to just get on the park. So I think he's having a good preseason. I've seen some footage of him at congestions and CBAs and getting amongst it. Maybe a little bit of I'll need to see a bit more before we see him really break out. But I know he had a great draft year. I think he was second or third highest average in his draft year. And yeah, a bit of opportunity at the Saints, I'd say. We'll see if he can be the third or fourth rotation midfielder there, I'd say, by the end of the year. You got like Jack McRae, Sam Flanders, Sinclair. Yeah. Oh, Wang. Yeah, Wanganeen. So, yeah, there's a few guys running through the middle there. Maybe Paddy Dow or a few of these other guys that have been traded there. A few guys at St Kilda now. But I've definitely seen Philippou getting some CBAs this offseason and would like to think he is in for a much bigger year. He's way down there on the draft list because averaged like 40 last year. But I reckon he can get closer to an 80 average by the end of this year if he is getting those CBAs and, yeah, if his body stays up as well. Angus Sheldrick, talked about him a little bit this offseason. He's a little bull at Sydney. He's been waiting and waiting, especially with that substitute rule as well. He's just been on the cusp. Obviously, you got Heaney, Goulden, Rowbottom. Yeah, a bunch of other guys upcoming there, but finally got a few games last year. Angus Sheldrick got 20 games to his name, which I think doubled his games played in total. And again, with that substitute rule no longer a thing, I reckon Dean Cox really likes Angus Sheldrick as well. I reckon he's going to chuck him in more and more as the season goes on. See how he goes in round one, but if any of the other Sydney midfielders goes down, I think he is at most of the CBAs this year. And yeah, Tom Mitchell-esque. I don't want to jinx it, but maybe I would like to think he gets above an 80 average by the end of this year. Riley Sanders at the Dogs, another one who in a big waiting line of midfielders. And I think Joel Frazier has kind of taken the thunder away because he's so good as well. But Riley Sanders has been a little bit forgotten. Maybe he hasn't shown it quite as much. God, he was running backwards, I think, at some stage in his first or second game, which was hilarious. But he's going dead set the wrong way. But yeah, no, he's a forward option still and had that huge fantasy pedigree in his draft year and was like second or third best average in that class. I think it was just behind Kobe McKercher. And yeah, if he gets more opportunity, I think he will average a lot better this year. Might be a bit optimistic in saying he'll get an 83, but close to an 80, I reckon. I reckon he's going to bump it up at least 10 from last year. I reckon he's going to get well more amongst it. Another year older, just turned 21. Exciting times ahead for Dogs fans. If he stays there after the Tasmania team comes in, we'll see. But yeah, the last on my list here for breakouts is the oldest one here is Devon Robertson at the West Coast Eagles. He was in a long line of midfielders and had his injury troubles at the Lions. And he's gone to be a much bigger fish at West Coast. Much bigger fish. There's a lot of fish there, but I think he's got the most experience of a lot of them. I think he's going to get way more opportunity than he did at Brisbane, that's for sure. And yeah, he's a forward option as well, which is pretty exciting. So why not have a punt on Devon Robertson later on in your drafts? I think, yeah, not far off a mid-70 average, I'd say, by the end of the year. If he gets in amongst it, I reckon he could be best 23 by round one. I'd like to think he's there. And yeah, I think West Coast needs to blood a few of these guys and bring in all these imports and draftees that they've got in the last couple of years. And I think he might be a forgotten one there with all the draft picks. But Devon Robertson has some fantasy game. And yeah, with the forward status, why not have a go at the end of your drafts? Not too late though. There you have it, guys. There's a few breakouts for you this year. A couple I have on my mind. There's a lot more there, though. And yeah, let me know who you think is breaking out in 2026. Season's not far away, guys. Getting super excited. Come and join me for some live commentary throughout the year. Going to be watching some games live on stream, maybe with some friends. And yeah, come and follow and play some Game Day Squad with me, guys. You can use the code MONSTAR to get 80 free packs straight off the bat and start your card collecting fantasy journey on Game Day Squad. Yeah, it's a good bit of fun and a new way to play fantasy. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you very, very soon in the next video.